Alright folks, welcome back to Starladder Season 7, Day 10. Our second match of the day, for Friends and Chrilee facing off against Virtus.Pro, starting with a bang. They did the draft without us while we were casting the last match, and we got right into this one with an all-pick game. So we're going to see for Friends and Chrilee already roaming into the dire jungle here. They're going to throw some wards down for counter action, and let's go over these rosters very quickly. We have some interesting hero picks to say the least. On for Friends and Chrilee, we're going to have Giftig playing on a Spectre. That's right folks, we are indeed going to see a Spectre. Strangebee going to be playing on the Rubik. We're going to see a stand-in Karki going to be playing on the Visage. Blomberg going to be playing on the Puck as it may be. And here in the top lane, we're going to have Chrilee himself playing Furion in the top lane. Looks like it will be Puck in the mid, and then we will have a bit of a tri-lane between that Spectre, that Rubik, as well as the Visage. On the dire side of things, we do have Team Virtus.Pro. Resolution going to be playing the Weaver in the top lane. NS going to be on the Bane, also up in the top lane here. We've got Go Black on the Chen, currently in the dire jungle. In the mid lane, we do have God playing on that Templar Assassin. He's going to be having one hell of a good time against Blomberg. And in the bottom lane, Light of Heaven on the Clockwork. Going to have his off-lane Clockwork here. Going to be doing that crafty work with the cogs to push a couple of creeps into the woods here and get a little bit of that lane control nice and early on. So, interesting rosters here, APOC. How you feeling coming into this game?
Spectre, man, I'm already feeling good. I haven't seen Spectre in a long time. I know that they Valve made some not Valve.
Ice
Frog made some change to Spectre because I think he lowered some of the cooldowns that she had and ramped up her Desolate. So. Spectre can move into some sort of a more mid lane carry, mid game carry instead of that late game over carry that she used to be, and she is still played as a mid game and the late game carry. So I really hope to see something coming out from Giftig here.
Yeah, should be interesting as well. I'm just mousing over the Spectre abilities to see if there's anything jumping out at me. The ultimate with 120-second cooldown at all levels. The Spectral Dagger also a 16-second cooldown at all levels. So I'll be curious though. I want to know what's going to happen with Spectre. I want to see how they build it and how Giftig ends up playing it. If we're just going to see sort of static farming like we did with the Anti-Mage in that last match, or if we're going to see Spectre played a little bit more aggressively as that kind of mid-game carry, as you were just mentioning. Of course, the great thing about Spectre is if there's kills somewhere else in the map, that global ulti allows him to hop in and possibly pick up a couple of early kills, even in those other lanes. I want to mention this mid lane here. Again, we've got Blomberg on the Puck for Team for Friends and Chrilee, and Virtus.Pro going to have God playing the Templar Assassin. We talked about Templar Assassin being a great counter to Puck, and already we're seeing TA off to a great start, sitting 12-2 against the 8-1 Puck, and Puck is just being harassed back. Templar Assassin going to be able to grab a nice early bottle here, and is going to have that small advantage over Puck. Now we're going to see Strangebee on the Rubik roam into the mid lane, and they may find an engagement onto the Templar Assassin here. Are they going to go for it? That 2-minute rune was an invisibility, so they could have an opportunity to set up a first blood. Go Black on the Chen is nearby though as he roams down towards the Radiant jungle, and I think that will be enough to scare back the efforts of Strangebee on the Rubik.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to find here the Visage doing those pulls. I'm not sure that they're going to initiate on him or not, but NS on that Bane with Go Black on the Chen. Chen has a one Centaur Conqueror. They're going to find here the creep wave of for Friends and Chrilee, and they're going to just demolish it.
Yep.
While that is happening, we can see that Light of Heaven on that Clockwork is really in the face of Giftig. Giftig is under his tower, and Light of Heaven is far under the tower. Yep. But he's going to be okay because his creep wave was right in front of him, and he has those cogs to prevent any strange movements and any shenanigans that can come out from Giftig.
Certainly right, certainly right. So we've now moved in sort of a tri-lane on tri-lane down here in the Radiant bottom with Go Black, of course, on the Chen. He's now moving into the Radiant jungle. He's going to pick up another Centaur Conqueror here and going to continue to deny a little bit of creep farm. I like what they're doing here. They're going to try and just harass this creep pool as much as possible. They haven't blocked it with a ward. They're actually going to throw, the dire side actually going to throw down a ward inside the jungle here. It won't block the creep spawn itself, but it will give them valuable sight if Strangebee or Karki try to do something a little bit interesting here to pick on Light of Heaven. So they are going to give Light of Heaven a slightly easier time in this off lane to allow him to be even more aggressive against Giftig, as you were mentioning. Giftig now level 5 on Spectre. and does have that first round of core items, does have the boots of speed as well as the stout shield. So again, I'll be curious to see where they build him. I'm guessing he's going to go in for a Vanguard nice and early on. That's like what I picture with Spectre, but who knows? I mean, maybe he'll go for the Battle Fury. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. About a Battle Fury on the Spectre. Probably he's going for the early some early sustainability. I'm not sure about Vanguard or not, but I know that a lot of people when building a Spectre, they really like a Diffusal Blade, and Diffusal Blade is really great here in this case because I think it can purge off the refraction absorb damage from Templar Assassin. I mean refraction from Templar Assassin because it purges every single buff that you have, and refraction counts as a buff, I think. So
yes,
it can push that off, and it can chase after. Even if you get Psionic trapped, you can chase with it, and that dagger, the Spectre dagger, is going to give you even more movement speed. So probably a Diffusal Blade here after his face boots.
Yep, that's probably a good call, I think, indeed. We'll see, though. Time will tell. He is going to go the Phase Boots for sure. Does have that first set of Blades of Attack. Now, I want to point out in the top lane for Virtus.Pro, they do have Resolution, who is in that safe lane for the Dire side. He was up against a long lane Furion, who is Chrilee, and Chrilee doing the standard Nature's Prophet stuff that we were talking about before. Stay in lane when they're shoved up against the tower, then port into the jungle to get a little bit of farm. We're going to hold that thought because there is initiation down here in the bottom lane. Clockwork going to be the first to fall, and that's going to be some first blood bonus gold in favor of Spectre. They will get a counter kill, though, as Bane gets that last hit onto Spectre as well. Some more kill exchanging going about as Bane falls to the Wrath of Visage. Chen going to be able to get that kill onto Visage. Nature's Prophet going to fall as well as he gets caught down here in the bottom lane, and he is going to fall to the Wrath of Templar Assassin. So a lot of support coming down to the bottom lane, but Virtus.Pro going to come out ahead in our first exchange of the match, 3-2 here at the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, that's what God does really well. He dominates his lane, then he goes ganking style. So he even had a double damage rune on top of in the initial part of the fight. So that was really key here. His rotation was really important. They stopped Spectre's farm that well. He had a kill there. I think he went for the first kill was his.
Yep, he had the first blood.
So yeah, the first blood, but I think that the kill on him was really clutch there. They really needed to punish him for that. And we're going to have a rotation middle.
Yeah, everyone rotating middle as it may be here. We're going to see God come back to his mid lane. Going to get a little bit of support from Light of Heaven on the Clockwork, as well as Puck returning to the lane. And things may heat up in the Radiant jungle here. Go Black and NS on the Chen, and Bane going to be right here. Puck going to come in with an invisibility rune. Will scout it out. Going to use the Dream Coil to engage. Bane going to be in trouble as he falls. And now Go Black in trouble as well. That's going to be a 2-for-0 exchange. 4 Friends and Chrilee, pardon me, going to be able to take 2 kills here in the Radiant jungle. Puck with the invisibility rune was luckily was able to scout it out as they were on the high ground, and that did secure the initiation for the rest of his team. An easy Dream Coil and follow up from the Rubik with that telekinesis. Now before that fight ensued, I wanted to mention Weaver in the top lane. Resolution is 59 and 15 in last hits right now, nearly doubling that of Spectre. So the two main carries that are kind of free farming here, not that Spectre is free farming in the bottom lane, but getting the better farm. Resolution is just way ahead on that net worth chart. He's at 3.6k, TA from the mid at 3k, and both Puck and Spectre sitting around 2.6k. So already Weaver is off to one hell of a start, which is great news for Virtus.Pro despite conceding those 2 kills there in the Radiant jungle.
Oh yeah, and those kills in Radiant jungle were really interesting to see because Bane was NS on that. Bane was he was in a really good position. And Go Black had 2 Centaur Conquerors. I think that's their name, the Centaurs. So he had 2 Centaurs. They had the upper hand because they had the vision on top of the top of the hill. What happened to Left Heaven? No, there's nothing happening to here. But the thing is, they were there, but they weren't expecting an invisible Puck there. So Puck went to the top side of the hill, and he was able to scout out.
Uh-oh, TA with a double damage, going to port bottom. That's going to be the end of Strange Bee, coming down to support that Light of Heaven. They actually started this fight off by diving Light of Heaven on that dire tier 1, and now they're going to turn it around. Now Light of Heaven going to be able to use the power cogs around Visage. God with the double damage, going to rip him apart. Visage going to fall. That's going to make it a 2-0. But now Light of Heaven in a little bit of trouble. Giftig on the aggressive. Giftig not going to get the last hit. It's actually going to be Furion. Giftig just giving him that valuable vision for the Furion ulti to come in, and that'll grab the last hit. So that's going to make it a 1-for-2 here. Spectre almost falling to the wrath of the double damage Templar Assassin, but he makes it back to the tower, and God forced to back up. Go Black coming in for a bit of support, but gonna get a little bit late, get there a little late to the party. In the top lane, though, while all that was happening, NS and Resolution able to work together to finish off the Furion. It looks like Fiend's Grip. Oh no, he's only level 5. No, Fiend's Grip was used. The level 9 Weaver probably proving just to be a bit too much for the level 6 Furion, who has nothing but Gloves of Haste and Ring of Basilius. That will cost them the tier 1 tower in the top lane. Virtus.Pro now leading 6-5 in hero kills as we approach the 10-minute mark, as they do secure their first tower kill of the game, pushing them ahead by just about 3,500 gold here at the 10-minute mark.
Man, Templar Assassin. Dude, God was just wrecking face bottom.
Yep.
He was there with the double damage rune. He had psionic traps from everyone. And he has managed, after those kills, he has managed to pick up a Medallion of Courage right off the bat. So
yep.
He's not going for that early Blink Dagger just as of yet, but he will be probably going for that because Blink Dagger is really effective on Templar Assassin if you're ahead. So
yeah.
That's probably his route, and he's really ahead. He's 3-for-0. He has 52 last hits. I'm not sure how many. Buck has 40 last hits, so they have the same amount of last hits.
Yeah, those 3 kills though.
Really close, yeah. But there are 3 kills for God going there for so.
Yep. So that Medallion of Courage you picked up, that usually is a sign that they want to do a bit of early Roche pressure, and they're going to do it. Go Black going to come in, going to use the Centaurs to help tank it. Roche going to get down to about 75% health or so, and then they are going to be forced back. There is some ward coverage up, so if we look at what the Radiant side can see, they've got a ward on the high ground down by that bottom rune, so they know that Roche is being pressured here, and that means Virtus.Pro needs to be very careful. God sitting right behind the tree inside the pit. Again, just needs to be very careful. Some counter wards here coming out for our Radiant side as they do get a little bit of more vision control about that bottom rune. We could very well see an engage ensue now. And there it is. Clockwork going to engage onto Strange Bee. Not going to have enough mana for the cogs, but will connect with the hook shot. And there's going to be the Fiend's Grip used, but he's going to get countered by the Puck as he comes in with a silence. Looks like this fight going to go way in favor of 4 Friends and Chrilee. The Dream Coil going to be used. They're going to get cleaned up. That's going to be a 3-for-0 as Chen, Clockwork, and Bane all go down to the wrath of 4 Friends and Chrilee. It was a 5v3, as it may be, down by the Roche pit. All the while, Resolution on the Weaver, still just pressuring that top lane. Got the tier 2 tower down to about half health. And God did survive. I think he just ported back to the base, so he did survive as well. Maybe Chen sent him back in the heat of the moment.
Chen just sent him back, yeah.
Yep, Chen was able to send him back.
Chen sent him back. What happened there was... So Rubik just saw that they were doing Roshan, so he bought some Sentry Wards and some Observer Wards, so he dropped Sentry Ward there to counter ward with the Visage. But while that was happening, God decided to go to double back on Roshan and try to initiate on the Rubik, but Rubik was so close, as God was, his positioning was so close to the hill that Rubik was able to telekinese him and throw him on the hill, on the bottom hill of the bottom rune for the Radiant side.
Right.
So God was really, he was stuck there for a really long time, and he had a TP. He could have just used TP on the tier 1 tower on the bottom for the right, for the dire side, but he didn't want that. He asked the Chen probably to port him back, but they were just staying there doing nothing for a long time while their Clockwork was being pummeled upon.
Yep.
And yeah, that was really poor decision making probably for God there.
Yep. So again, they want this Roche pit, or they want this Roche kill. Pardon me, Templar Assassin going to find his way into a double damage rune at that 12-minute mark.
For the third time this game.
Yeah, third double damage here in 12 minutes worth of runes, and we're going to see Roshan take a lot of damage here. He's down to, I don't know, about 20% hit points. Again, 4 Friends and Chrilee know what's up. They know that Medallion of Courage is out, and they know that Roche is going to be pressured here. So We'll see who ends up taking it out. God seems hell-bent on finishing off this Roshan. Going to use the Medallion of Courage again. Visage scouting it out with the familiars, so for Friends and Chrilee do have visual confirmation of what's happening. Roche getting dangerously low now. He's down to about 1,000 hit points, pardon me. Roche going to go down. Dyer going to get the last hit. Puck going to snatch the Aegis, though, and that's going to be a keen initiation for them. Templar Assassin going to fall to the wrath of Spectre. Oh, no, this is not what Virtus.Pro wanted. Puck going to fall. The Aegis going to be burned. Buyback going to be used by Templar Assassin. Bane going to fall as well. Weaver's going to make his way into the battle, though, and that's going to be the end of the Visage. Chen now going to fall. It's a massacre here outside of the Roche pit as both sides continue to lay into each other. Chrilee going to come in, but he's going to be able to pour it out right in the nick of time. We're going to see Resolution move in, trying to do a lot of damage here. They get a kill onto the Spectre. Now Strange being a little bit of trouble. He had Shikuchi. He's still got it. He's going to be able to run away. There you go. So right now, 2 dead on both sides. Visage going to respawn. Right now, Spectre, the only one down on the Radiant side. A lot of buybacks were burned there as well. One used, or no, perhaps not. Only one buyback used. My mistake on the Templar Assassin, but unfortunately for TA, died, bought back, and then died again, and that's going to make a big dent into the gold that TA was pulling up. I don't know how much it was, but if you look at that net worth chart, TA now knocked down to 5th place when TA was in 1st place just a few moments ago before that fight.
Yeah, the biggest factor there was that Templar Assassin wasn't able to kill the Spectre off. When she bought back, she TP'd in the middle tower. No, to the bottom tower. She roamed around, she fought, then she went to the middle tower, under the middle tower. But there was the Rubik with the Shikuchi who was following her, and then Spectre was able to go after her with his Spectre Jagger. And they started pummeling her. They dropped even a sentry ward under the dire side of the tower, under the dire tower, and they finished her off. But then she was able to manage to do a meld crit, but wasn't able to secure the last hit on the Spectre. I think it was the Chen who landed the last hit. No, it was the Weaver who killed him. So
up in the top lane, Weaver going to be in trouble. Strangeby giving him a dose of his own medicine, using that Shikuchi to engage. Going to use the telekinesis, the Fade Bolt coming in, and now Strangeby going to be forced back. So there was a 4v1 in the top lane as 4 Friends and Chrilee move up. Looks like they do want to group up and push a little bit. Let's take a look at the gold difference here. We still see our dire side ahead. Team Virtus.Pro leading by just about 2,000 gold, though the experience lead is minimal. It's about a couple hundred for Friends and Chrilee. Let's take a look at some inventories as well and see what we've missed. Puck has now picked up a Blink Dagger. He's had that for quite some while, and did certainly in those last few team fights. Does have the Boots of Speed, Null Talisman, and that Bottle Magic Wand combo to go with it. Nature's Prophet, Chrilee here doing the standard Nature's Prophet stuff as we mentioned. Does have Phase Boots, Ring of Basilius, and that Hand of Midas. So going to be farming towards that Shadow Blade, no doubt, as he has 1,000 gold in the bank. On the dire side of things, Weaver now working towards that Lincoln Sphere. Chrilee gonna get caught here. Oh, he's gonna get interrupted. It was the Minotaur stun that did it. Very nicely done by Virtus.Pro in the mid lane as 4 Friends and Chrilee try and push up. He sprouted himself. He was trying to pour it out, and the AoE of the Centaur able to interrupt him through the trees. Very nicely done by Go Black right there, and a very much deserved kill on the Furion. And I did just want to mention Weaver now picking up that Lincoln Sphere to go with those power treads and the Ring of Aquila. So all of that farm that he's been able to pick up is paying off here as we see Virtus.Pro grouped up about the mid lane. All 4 of them with Weaver still farming at the top. Going to pressure this tier 1 tower in the mid lane. And oh, there's going to be a defense pose. Puck blinks in. There's the Dream Coil. Going to connect with 2. Chen going to use the ulti. Doesn't have the mech yet. Chen falls. Rubik also going to be able... Or pardon me, Nature's Prophet going to be able to pick up a kill on Bane as well. That's 2 down for Virtus.Pro as this fight continues. Now Weaver going to pour it in. God on the TA, starting to do a lot of damage. Chrilee in big trouble. He's going to fall to the wrath of one of the Chen creeps. The fight going to continue to ensue near the Radiant Tier 1 in the mid lane. Strangeby going to steal Shikuchi again, but he's going to fall. Clockwork going to be able to grab that kill. Now Visage going to go down as well. Virtus.Pro turning this fight around. Spectre and Puck, the only 2 left alive. Spectre headed for the hills. He's going to make it back to the Radiant Tier 2 in the top lane as Puck moves into the Radiant jungle to stay safe and sound. Virtus.Pro going to come out ahead here, and they are going to be able to pressure this tower. Light of Heaven and God still in the mid lane as they clear up the creep wave. Dire creep wave comes in. A glyph is available. They're going to pressure this tower. The illusionary orb as well. And they are going to back up. So this tier 1 tower in the mid lane for the Radiant will survive. Tower count still 1-0 in favor of Virtus.Pro. Weaver pressuring that top lane. It may be 2-0 in just a moment here as he pressures that tier 2. But nope, going to be repelled by Gift Tig on the Spectre as he heads back to the Radiant, seeking secret shop. So a chaotic team fight right there. Virtus.Pro coming out ahead in the end, going to further their gold lead, and now a huge experience lead for our Dire team, sitting on just about 4,000.
Oh man, that God has been right on top with his damage output. He's so he hurts so much. I mean, the biggest problem with him is that he has only 5 kills. I mean, only 5 kills. It's almost half of the team kills, but he has 5 kills and two deaths and 2 assists. So the biggest problem here for him that he's not managing to kill even more people is that he doesn't have a BKB or a Blink Dagger. He's been disabled so hard by the Nature's Prophet with his Sprout and Telekinesis by Rubik. But now he's managing to pick up his BKB. He's really close, so he has 22. No, he has Ogre Club and Mithril Hammer, so he's lagging about 800 gold. So he'll be really in a great spot when he gets that BKB. And we can expect a lot more kills on his name because he's outputting so much damage. It's really incredible. When he's not disabled, he's just melting everyone. For Friends and Chrilee's heroes are fairly squishy. I mean, Spectre is not that hard. He's not that tanky, and he's almost dying to Resolution here on the top lane, but he's managed to port back. So, I mean, Rubik, Visage. Probably Visage is the only one with a lot of armor here because of his Gravekeeper's Cloak. So that's the only issue there. But he just melted him. Even if he had the Gravekeeper's Cloak on, he melted him with one melt. So. He's gonna be outputting a lot of damage here on for Friends and Chrilee's heroes. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. 4 Friends and Chrilee running Puck, Furion, Spectre, Rubik, and Visage. That is the definition of a squishy team right there. And Spectre, as we were wondering what he was going to build, was he going to go tanky? Was he going to go into the diffuse? Well, proving us both wrong here. He went Phase Boots into Drum of Endurance, so getting a little bit of early stats there, a little bit of additional movement speed, but Spectre is very squishy. He did not go for an early Vanguard, and although he will be tanky later on in this match, once he gets farmed up and gets those big items, he is not there right now, and he's got about 2,400 gold in the bank, so if he wants to go for that Diffusal Blade, he's going to be getting closer, and that will be a good sign. He's desperately going to need something, though, because not a lot of damage or survivability coming out from Spectre at the moment, as he is sitting level 12. Right now, 4 Friends and Chrilee going to take 3 down to this bottom lane. Looks like they are going to group up a little bit, pressure this tier 2 down in the bottom for Virtus.Pro, but all the while Resolution did secure the kill on that top tier 2 tower. Actually, Spectre did deny it, so that is still going to take the tower count 2-0 in favor of Virtus.Pro, though one of those tower kills was denied. Very nicely done by the Spectre. And both sides going to kind of retreat to their respective sides of the map a little bit. Virtus.Pro starting to group up about the mid, and we will see Resolution clear out the Radiant Ancients a little bit. Well, a little bit. He's going to do it. There's nothing little about it. Virtus.Pro getting the better of the map control right now. It's always one way you can tell who's controlling the map is who's getting the Ancients. If one team is clearing both sets of Ancients, you know that they've got a solid amount of map control. We're going to see Blom be in a little bit of trouble here. Resolution going to go in. A great illusionary orb from Puck, but uh-oh, he's on the low ground. Resolution going to be able to get a couple of last hits off, but Puck will port out to safety. So playing with fire a little bit there, but does survive the wrath of the mighty Weaver.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening actually because I'm lagging so hard right now.
Uh-oh.
I've actually stopped at the 21-minute mark, so
right.
I've been lagging for a whole minute.
All right, no problem there. Yeah, we're just about to approach the 22-minute mark. Virtus.Pro going to group up about the bottom lane. All 5 of them are down here. Only 3 for 4 Friends and Chrilee are defending at the moment. Glyph going to be used while the tower has 67 hit points to spare, and needless to say, that tower is going to fall. Up in the top lane, we've got Chrilee on the Furion. He's level 13 now. He's got the Shadow Amulet, but still a little ways off that Shadow Blade. It looks like he may be able to take out the Tier 1 tower in the top lane. He's going to put the Treants on it, and he is going to head into the jungle. There is a Glyph available. Are they going to use it for the deny? They will indeed use it. Bane is up here. NS going to come up. He's going to port that Tier 2 tower. Someone else going to port in. He's going to miss the deny. Nature's Prophet going to be the one to grab that last hit on the tower. That's going to take the tower count now 3-1 in favor of our Dire side. That's right. Team Virtus.Pro is leading 3-1 in terms of tower kills. We can't forget, though, 4 Friends and Chrilee did manage to deny one of those 3 towers that they have lost. Again, that gold advantage still go way in favor of our dire side. They're now leading by about 5,500 gold or so, about 3,500 experience, as they do grab another invisibility rune. One thing that Virtus.Pro has done very well this match is control the runes, and we've seen God pick up most of them throughout this match, several invisibilities as well as several double damage that have had a driving role in some of these last team fights, as well as a couple of those solo ganks that God was able to get. Right now, 4 members of Virtus.Pro grouped up about the Radiant Jungle, and they're going to bump into Puck and Visage. Not going to be able to find an opportunity to engage, though. They were on the low ground as now they ventured deeper into the Radiant Jungle. Will the Radiant team come to the defense of Puck? It looks like they will, but now God going to eat that invisibility rune. He's going to lead the way. Blomberg looking like he's going to be the target of choice. He is going to phase shift. We'll be able to blink away. They're still in hot pursuit. However, Furion ult going to come. We'll do a lot of damage to our dire side. There's the Dream Coil going to be used on the Bane as well as the Chen. Chen going to get the ulti off. Also going to be able to use the mech. That will buy Bane a little bit of time, but Bane going to be the first to fall. Chen going to be second to fall in this fight. It's not looking as good for Virtus.Pro as we would have hoped. They get a return kill onto the Visage, and they're forced to head for the hills. Weaver's now in the mix, and he's doing one hell of a lot of damage. Puck going to port back to the base, and they're in hot pursuit. Uh-oh, they may be in trouble. TA going to be able to catch a slow onto Rubik. Rubik going to be in big trouble here. He falls to the wrath of the mighty Templar Assassin. Chrilee on the Nature's Prophet taking a lot of damage. He's going to fall as well. Clockwork going to be the one to grab that last hit as Light of Heaven dives that tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. He will pay the ultimate price as he gets taken out by the Puck, and that'll give him a first-class ticket back to the well. A chaotic team fight, but all in all, a fairly even exchange when it's all said and done. Now 15-17. Virtus.Pro trailing by 2 kills, but still leading by a nice gold advantage here 24 minutes into our second match of the day here on Starladder Season 7, Day 10 on Dota Radio. The second Roche is going to respawn. Virtus.Pro going to head straight into the pit with yet another double damage on this Templar Assassin. Needless to say, Roche going to melt, and Templar Assassin going to be able to grab the second Aegis of the game.
Yeah, it's the 4th double damage in this game?
I think so, 4th
oh,
or
man.
5th.
I'm back in the game, but Jesus, 4th or 5th double damage here. Oof.
All of them
Templar
are
Assassin, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
God has been having a really great streak here. I think he needs to play the lottery or something. They're winning. They're winning by 1, 2, 3, 4 towers. The tower count is
4-1.
5. Yeah, 4-1. The 2 outer towers left for the 4 FC. The tier 2 on the mid lane and the tier 2 on the bottom lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Speaking of that, Resolution is going to try to dive on Strange Bee and I'm not sure.
Oh.
He's not going to die. No one's going to fall.
Nope, he's doing a lot of damage, though. Going to use the time-lapse back. He's going to be next to a Sentry Ward, and there he goes. Gets that last hit on Visage. So Resolution able to solo his way to a kill here. He's the one that picked up the Aegis of the Immortal. He's had that Linken's, now has a Demon Edge, and has the 2 Javelins in the bank. So that's going to be an MKB coming out for Resolution here, it looks like, and he's going to be going straight for a heavy damage build. Let's take a look at some of the other items in the inventories, as some have been picked up. Spectre has managed to grab a Radiance here, and that's going to go nicely with the Drum of Endurance and the Phase Boot, so that is great news for 4FC. Giftig going to be able to start putting out a lot more damage in these team fights. Furion now has been able to pick up his Shadow Blade, another 1,600 gold in the bank, but not much else showing up in that inventory. Still no mech on our Radiant side. It's going to be the responsibility of Visage this time. He's got the headdress, but still a ways off the mech if that's the item route that he goes. Puck has had the blink and going to go for an early set of Boots of Travel there on Blomberg. That's an interesting choice, not something we see on Puck too frequently. He also has a Gem of True Sight to make Weaver's life that much more difficult. On the Dire side, we've seen Chen has the mech picked up. We saw it used in that last fight. He's got those Arcane Boots as well. Weaver now going to have the MKB complete that we just spoke about. TA now going to hit level 16. Also going to have a BKB as well as a Medallion of Courage and a Gem of True Sight of her own. Clockwork continuing to get scary as well. Looks like he's going to be moving towards an Ognim Scepter. Does have the point booster, but also has an Ogre Club as well as a Mithril Hammer. So I think that BKB going to be coming out before we see the Og Scepter. In the Radiant Jungle, Resolution going to get aggressive. Strange Bee going to get caught. He's going to throw down a ward. And now Bloomberg going to get caught. He's going to phase shift, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to take the orb. Or is it going to be enough? A nice stun on the familiars. That'll buy him some time. And all the while, Rubik actually going to fall to the wrath of Light of Heaven while they're trying to chase down the Puck. Nice use of the familiars there. It will keep Puck alive, but he is going to have to pay the other team 200 gold as both familiars fall, and they bounty for 100 gold apiece. So when it's all said and done, Virtus.Pro going to come out ahead there. They get a couple of familiar kills as well as a kill on the Rubik.
That was really clutch play for there from the Visage on those familiars. I mean, he had just summoned his familiars, so he couldn't resummon them after stunning, but he stunned really well on the resolution on the Weaver there, so he couldn't pursue on that kill on the puck. So that was really important there.
Yep, very well played indeed. We're all tied up here, 17-17, 28 minutes in. Virtus.Pro going to group up and pressure the Tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Glyph going to be used by the Radiant side, but just going to delay the inevitable by a few seconds here as that Tier 2 tower falls. Last hit going to go to the hands of Weaver. All the while, Furion going to try and pressure this bottom Tier 1 tower for Virtus.Pro. Chrilee is going to be forced back here. Bane going to throw down a counter ward, perhaps trying to catch the Nature's Prophet, but he's also going to find a nice aggressive lane ward. So that's going to be a cost-effective sentry coming out for the Bane here in the bottom lane. Virtus.Pro going to take that Tier 2 tower in the mid, and they're just going to head back to friendly territory with their spoils. Let's take a look at the graph, still leading by about 5,000 gold as well as 5,000 experience. Virtus.Pro, although tied up on hero kills, still maintaining their excellent map presence and getting the better of the farm. This upcoming team fight could prove to be even more difficult as TA now going to be able to right-click the Desolator. So that's going to go very nicely with that BKB. We thought God was doing a lot of damage before. Prepare for total domination, my friend, as he's got the Medallion of Courage and the Desolator. That is a hell of a lot of minus armor, and I think God will be a force to be reckoned with here coming up in this next team fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's going to be destructive. I'm really excited to see. I think that he has the BKB, so he has the mobility that he needs. He just needs to turn on the BKB and just run around and kill people, because no Spectral Dagger is going to slow him. There's not going to be any telekinesis. There's not going to be anything coming from the puck. Nothing can slow him there. So I'm really excited about the next fight.
Yep. I am as well. Weaver still with the Aegis of Immortal in the inventory. Going to have at least 2 minutes or so left on that. Chrilee finding opportunities to push about the map, though. He's going to go up to that top Tier 2 on the Dire side, and he is going to take that tower down to just about 300 hit points. A resolution on the Weaver will port in, clear up the couple of creep waves here, and get a little bit of extra farm. So I guess Weaver not too upset about heading back to his top Tier 2 tower. 55 seconds left on the Aegis of Immortal now. As we were just updating that time, the little timer window will pop up, and Resolution going to have about 50 seconds left before that Aegis will be reclaimed by Roshan. We will see another invisibility rune bottled up here by the Templar Assassin. So again, the rune control going in favor of Virtus.Pro, no doubt having a driving impact in this match. Both Roche kills were a result of Virtus.Pro having a double damage rune on God, so that made a big difference here. God actually with double runes right now, going to activate a haste on top of that invisibility. Going to get a little greedy here, going to try to engage onto the Visage, pardon me, and he is going to get thwarted thanks to the telekinesis of the Rubik as he heads back to the Radiant jungle to meet up with the rest of his team. Right now, a bit of split pushing happening. Resolution on the Weaver in the top lane as he pushes creeps into the Radiant Tier 3. He's going to port down to the bottom Tier 2 to repel the forces of Giftig and Chrilee as they try to pressure that Tier 2 tower on the Dire bottom side. Virtus.Pro, the remaining 4 here, are still grouped up about the mid lane, contemplating if they want to push into the base, but perhaps not going to find an easy opportunity to do so. They are just going to stay about the mid lane, continue shoving creeps in, and it looks like they will move into the Radiant Ancients here to clear them up once again.
Yeah, investigating the Visage is something that I really need to do someday. But we can see that the Clockwork here has managed to pick up his BKB. I thought that he was going for an early Aganium Scepter. But he actually just bought the point booster and then finished off BKB because he had the mithril. No, wasn't the mithril hammer?
Yep.
Yeah, no, the Ogre Club. He had the Ogre Club, then he bought the mithril hammer and the recipe.
Oh, Giftig going to be in trouble. Virtus.Pro going to use a smoke right near the Radiant Ancients, and that's going to cost the Radiant side their Spectre. He's going to fall. He's going to buy back right away. He's going to ulti back into the fight, and that's going to be kill onto Bane. But TA just ripping people apart, going to be able to finish off the Nature's Prophet. Puck will be able to finish off the Chen, and now Virtus.Pro is up against the ropes. They're in full retreat mode. Light of Heaven in big trouble. He's going to fall as the Visage gets the last hit. God looking like he's going to be able to survive here, and part of the reason they lost this team fight is the buyback from Spectre, and Resolution wasn't there. All the while, Resolution was pressuring that Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane and was actually able to finish it off. God does survive, however, as he ports back to the base, it appears. So 2 for 3 exchange. They force the buyback onto the Spectre, but they get the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, the last outer tower remaining for 4 Friends and Chrilee. So one of these team fights that, although they lost the hero kill count, they did come out ahead in the end with that tower kill, still leading by 5,000 gold over 4 Friends and Chrilee. Virtus.Pro finding opportunities all over the map. If they're not winning team fights, they're taking out your towers.
Yeah, it was a kill on the Spectre, a kill on the Nature's Prophet, a tower tier 2 on the bottom, and a buyback by the Spectre without killing anyone. So that was important for them. I think Virtus.Pro did well there, even though they lost 3 heroes there.
Yep.
The Templar Assassin managed to survive. She had a DP, and Spectre couldn't finish her off. If God was soloing Spectre, he would just destroy him right in front of them. But there was a Visage and there was a Nature's Prophet, a Rubik, I think, or Nature's Prophet. One of those were really close to there. So there were 3 people running after the Templar Assassin. So he managed to escape.
Yep.
I think he's going to be going for something for a gank right now, because he's smoked up here with NS, with the Bane, and they're going through the Dire for the Radiance jungle.
Yep, exactly right. A couple of big items have been picked up as well. 2 sheep sticks now on the side of 4 Friends and Chrilee. Nature's Prophet can be able to grab his Scythe of Vice, as will the Puck, and that will make this next team fight for Virtus.Pro perhaps a little bit more difficult. Still no mech picked up for 4 Friends and Chrilee, but Visage is getting closer. He's got those 2 core items, and he's just about 200 off being able to pick up that recipe. Weaver now, he's had that MKB. He's going to move straight into an Eagle Song. So it looks like Weaver just going that ultimate hard carry route, is going to be going for a Butterfly in due time. We're going to see an engage here at the tier 3 tower in the mid lane of 4 Friends and Chrilee's base. They're going to be forced to port back. Furion actually pressuring the tier 2 in the top lane. He's going to be able to secure the first tier 2 tower kill in favor of 4 Friends and Chrilee. Now Virtus.Pro going to be forced to back up right here. They do have a 5v4 advantage at the moment, while Furion is still in the Dire jungle, but they're going to choose not to overcommit here as they do head back through the Dire jungle and just continue to farm away. Roche going to be coming up here in a matter of seconds, probably about 10 seconds or so, and it looks like Virtus.Pro would rather have a Roche kill than get a bit too aggressive in the mid lane, and I think that's certainly the smart play. There it is at the 35-minute mark on the dot. Roshan responds. Virtus.Pro camped outside the pit. There is a little bit of vision for the Radiant side. I think they're suspicious. They know something's going about. Oh, and the Dire Courier are going to get killed. I missed where that was on the map, but that is going to be a nice little pick-me-up for 4 Friends and Chrilee. Roshan falling very quickly. The Medallion of Courage being used. It's going to go down. Roshan going to fall to the Dire. Aegis going to go into the inventory of the Weaver, so it's not going to get snatched this time. Exactly what Virtus.Pro was looking for. It did cost them a Courier, but still getting Roshan and the Aegis is exactly what they wanted. So that is great news for our Dire team. Butterfly now completed on the Weaver to go with the MKB, the Aegis, and the Lincoln Sphere. Holy crap, between the Templar Assassin and the Weaver, things are getting scary for 4 Friends and Chrilee. That was actually the 3rd Roche kill of the game. In my mind, that was the 2nd, but Cheese is out, and Templar Assassin does have it. How did I miss a Roche kill?
It was the 3rd Roche kill, and that was the 2nd or 3rd Courier kill. So I don't know what VP is doing with their Couriers, man, but they're killing him a lot.
Exactly right. A little bit of miss micro happening right there. So again, the Chi is going to end up in the inventory of the Templar Assassin. The Aegis going to go to the Weaver. Furion continuing to be a thorn in the side of Virtus.Pro, though. He's going to pressure up and just poke away at that tier 3 tower up in the top lane. Going to throw a couple of those Treant there. Treant babies and get it down to about 1,300 health or so. Furion just being that force, preventing Virtus.Pro from just pushing up and steamrolling their way into that tier 3 tower. They have to constantly be cautious of the Furion trying to pressure their base whenever they move too far out from that top lane. Right now we see Virtus.Pro just picking up the farm about the map, clearing out the Dire jungle, clearing out their Ancients, and everybody just going to head back to their respective lanes and farm at every opportunity. Templar Assassin now with 4,500 gold in the bank. We'll see what God wants to grab as his next item here. He's already got that orb effect on the Desolator, already has the core BKB. What are you thinking here? What's next for Templar Assassin?
I don't know, man. Even more damage? Is that possible? Yes, it is. He's probably... I'm not sure. He can go for Heart of Tarask. And having his Desolator just chipping away their armor, he's going to be able to amplify the damage either way, but... I don't know, man. More damage is always better.
Yep, that's what they say. The more the merrier here. And looking at the net worth chart, Weaver leading the way at about 20k, Templar Assassin second at about 16, and then we have our Radiant side, Furion at 15k, Puck at 14. Safe to say that Virtus.Pro's carries are in great shape in terms of farm. With that, Virtus.Pro is going to group up. They're going to pressure this Tier 3 tower in the mid lane. Now that they have the Desolator, these structures fall even more quickly. -7 armor on that tower. Going to drop it to about 700 hit points as they disengage and wait for their next wave of creeps. Of course, that Radiance on the Spectre is helping things quite a bit. Spectre now trying to get a Heart of Tarrasque. Does have the Vitality booster and another 3k in the bank. We're going to see an engage here, though. Templar Assassin going to get converged on and take a lot of damage here. Going to be able to eat the cheese. Spectre going to be able to finally get that kill onto Templar Assassin, and that's going to be the first kill of this engage. Puck going to fall. Puck going to buy back. Now Resolution fall. He's going to come back thanks to the Aegis, but Virtus.Pro getting completely repelled here. Resolution in big trouble. The Telekinesis going to try to Shikuchi away. There's the CC, and he's going to die thanks to one of two sheep sticks on the Radiant side. Virtus.Pro getting completely cleaned up right there. Bane gonna fall as well. Where did he fall? It was in the top lane to the Spectre? Is that where he went down?
That was the mid lane.
The mid lane? Oh no, he did go down, but things now getting scary for four Friends and Chrilee. Chrilee himself up in the top lane. He's pressuring this Tier 3 tower on the Furion. Puck's with him. Resolution gonna buy back. He's gonna get caught in the crowd controls. The team of Sheep Sticks are up here. They're gonna keep him continually hexed. He will get the time lapse off with just a couple of seconds left to spare. Oh my god. Resolution going to stay alive, but will it be enough to keep their Tier 3 tower alive? The Tier 3 tower going to get down to about 500 health as he leaves the base. Resolution going to get caught. Rubik's here now. Everyone from four Friends and Chrilee going to join the party as it's a 5-man party now up about the top lane. Virtus.Pro in big trouble. Both their carries are down. TA going to be coming up in a matter of seconds, but Weaver going to be down for another 75. The top Tier 3 tower does fall for Virtus.Pro. Their top melee racks fall. Their top range racks taking a lot of pressure. We'll see Light of Heaven use the hook shot to get into the fight, but oh no, he needs to be a little bit careful here as a lot of damage could be coming his way. He does survive as Chen sends him back to the well, and that will be enough to repair four Friends and Chrilee. The ranged racks will survive with about 30 hit points to spare. So there you go. Virtus.Pro going to be able to defend it, but still not the exchange they were looking for. For the first time in this match, the gold graph now swinging in favor of our Radiant side. 2,500 gold advantage for four Friends and Chrilee, now leading 25-20, 40 minutes into this match. They now have the experience edge as well, sitting around 3k.
Yeah, I just looked at the clock, and I just saw that we were being in this game for 40 minutes, and I was thinking, racks already? They're rushing really quickly. But after the game that we had previously, yeah, this is a regular game, and I just think that this is flying by. Did you see that chain Sight of Vice on that Weaver man?
Oh,
that was really intense. So he got sheeped from his Tier 3, his Tier 3 top, next to the Tier 4. He got chain shipped, sheep stick, so he got melted really fast. He even had the butterfly, but his evasion is not just destroyed if you have a sheep stick on you. So that didn't matter, but they didn't have the damage output. So then he wanted to go after them, but he forgot that the Puck had a Gem of True Sight and didn't know that the Rubik was coming from the side with a Telekinesis. So that's what probably gave the Raxes there. So if they had the Weaver there survive, probably they would be able to defend that.
And interestingly enough, Weaver actually still has the cheese. I thought he had burned it in that first Cataclysmic team fight, but he still had... Or no, someone else had the cheese, they saved it, and now they gave it back to Weaver. That's why, playing mind games with the cheese, TA had the cheese, didn't burn it. I did misspeak in that team fight, and now he has given it to Weaver. TA has made a big item pickup, though, in the interim here. He has grabbed an Assault Cuirass. So TA going to be going for the more tanky approach, now sitting on 36 armor and attacking faster than a bat out of hell. On the Radiant side, big items have been picked up as well. Spectre has now grabbed that Heart of Tarrasque to go with the Radiance. So we talked in the early game how Spectre will eventually be that tanky force, and he's now transitioning into that mode, and he's starting to get a bit more scary. Looks like we could see a little bit of split pushing action again. Chrilee continuing to be an annoying force with this Furion. He now has a Demon Edge in the inventory, so he'll be able to clear those towers even more quickly. Virtus.Pro going to opt to use a smoke here. They're going to venture into the Radiant jungle, hoping to catch somebody farming, but not going to find him. And it looks like they may group up and perhaps will opt to push. I don't know what Virtus.Pro wants to go here. They may feel like their back is up against the wall, and they need to be the aggressors to make it happen. That certainly seems to be the choice here, as they are going to do a smoke gank. TA going to have another invisibility rune, and we'll be able to scout it out for the rest of the team if they choose to do an engage here. Of course, we'll need to be careful, as Puck still has that Gem of Truth sight in the inventory, and could prove to be deadly for the Templar Assassin if he gets caught. God kind of being pursued here. They don't know where he is, but they were headed his way. He's going to make it back to safe territory. Phew, Templar Assassin playing with our nerves a little bit there. Furion did go top. He did manage to finish off the range racks in the top lane. So the top lane is completely cleared out now for Virtus.Pro. They do have their other two safe and sound. They actually have the only remaining tier 2 out tower in the match, which is in the bottom lane. But they are now trailing by that barracks, now trailing by about 5,000 gold. Virtus.Pro. They had the game in their basket, but now, I don't know, man. Is it going to be a game of throws? Time will tell. This next team fight will indeed be very crucial.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. I think that the team fight here is going to be really important. And Dennis?
Yep, Dennis going to get caught. He's going to try to counter ward here. He's going to get saved by the Chen for now, but ultimately going to fall. Chrilee going to be able to port in and finish him off. Resolution going to go down now. Oh, almost going down, but he does make it back to the well, it would appear. Is he in this fight? Yes, he is in the fight. Pardon me, he did get the good time lapse off, but it's not going to be enough. Looks like 4 Friends and Chrilee may be able to clean this up. Now Resolution going to be in big trouble. Doesn't have a time lapse to spare. He will be able to Shikuchi away, but he's going to get caught. Down he goes. Nature's Prophet was the only one to fall for 4 Friends and Chrilee, and Chrilee himself will buy back. He's going to pour it into the action, and this could be all she wrote for Virtus.Pro. They've lost now 4 of their heroes as they catch the Templar Assassin. TA going to fall. What's the buyback situation? TA doesn't have it. Going to have it in 3 gold. Oh my gosh, TA teetering on the edge of a buyback here. Going to have it. Will he use it though? I don't know if it's going to be enough. Right now, Clockwork, the only one alive. Bane going to be coming up in just a second. TA going to stay dead. Glyph going to be used as 4 Friends and Chrilee move to the mid lane, and the Glyph going to go off. Now they're going to continue the pressure. The tier 3 tower in the mid does fall. TA still not using that buyback. Right now it's only Clockwork and Bane. Chen going to be coming up in just a matter of seconds as the mid lane of Rax does fall for our dire side. Virtus.Pro now in big trouble as they trail by 8 kills, 21 to 29. They're now down 2 lanes of Rax, and I think it will also cost them that last remaining tier 2 tower. 4 Friends and Chrilee in great shape in this match, now trailing by a huge margin, or leading by a huge margin, pardon me, and may very well be able to take this game. They're not going to move down to that tier 2. Furion going to throw a couple creeps down there, but what they will do is head down to that Roche pit. Roche going to be respawning here in just a matter of seconds. So the fourth, and there he is, the 4th Roche kill of the game could become a reality. No, 4 Friends and Chrilee just going to go straight forward. They're going to see Chen. Go Black going to get caught as Puck blinks forward, uses that Scythe of Ice, and down he goes. That's going to be another kill for 4 Friends and Chrilee, and now they can freely move into that Roche pit, and I think Virtus.Pro will be hard-pressed to contest this Roche kill.
I think this goes back to VP, to having a Weaver buying a Butterfly instead of a BKB, man. He was disabled so hardly there. He got sheep-sticked again. He got Spectral Dagger. He got telekinesis. I think they should have gone a lot more cautiously about this. They should have bought BKBs and not just be so balls in and balls deep. Having 2 sheepsticks and be able to chain him like they do, dude, that hurts. That really hurts the team fight, and they use it really greatly on the Templar Assassin and the Weaver. Because who's gonna output damage if it's not them? I mean, Light of Cavern is not going to be the one that's going to be out with damage, and he just disconnected. I'm not sure that's a rage quit or not, but
it's hard to tell.
Already, yeah, it's hard to tell. But I don't know. And there are only 2 heroes on the dire side that are possible to initiate and to create really big damages on Forest East lineup. And yeah.
And here, we're going to see some pressure down in the bottom lane. The last lane of Rack's going to fall, and I think that's Virtus.Pro's way of saying GG without having to actually type out the letters. You're going to see Light of Heaven kind of suicide into the team, and there it is. Virtus.Pro going to GG out as their bottom lane Racks of fall. And Giftig going to be the one to play that Spectre. We were suspicious if it would work out, and indeed it did for 4 Friends and Chrilee. But really the driving force in that match, as you were just saying, was the CC chain, beautifully done by both Chrilee and who was playing on the puck. We'll see it in just a moment. Bloomberg there. And Puck actually dying only once in that game. Puck ending 4-1 and 18, but the two Scythe of Vices between those two heroes, they chained them perfectly to shut down those carries, and that ultimately was why they won that game, I think.
Oh.